Sometimes the hardest part of faith is not when God says no, but when God says nothing. You prayed, you fasted, you waited, and all you heard was silence. No sign, no voice, no breakthrough, just quiet. And in that quiet, questions grow loud. Did I pray wrong? Did God forget me? Am I being punished? Why is everyone else moving forward while I'm stuck? But hear this slowly. God's silence is not God's absence. Just because heaven is quiet does not mean heaven is idle. There are moments when God speaks loudly, and moments when God works deeply, and the deepest work is often done in silence. Think of Joseph. He dreamed big dreams, dreams from God, but those dreams led him to a pit, then to slavery, then to prison. For years, God said nothing. No explanation, no reassurance, no timeline, just darkness. But while Joseph thought God was silent, God was shaping a ruler. God was training a leader. God was positioning a deliverer. What Joseph saw as delay, God saw as development. Some of you are in that place right now. You're doing the right things, but nothing is happening. You're faithful, but doors remain closed. You're obedient, but answers are missing. And it hurts because silence feels like rejection. But let me tell you something most people don't realize. God is quiet when He's doing something too complex to explain. If God explained everything He was doing, you might panic, you might interfere, you might quit. So He works quietly, carefully, precisely. Think of a seed in the ground. When you plant it, nothing seems to happen. No movement, no evidence, no applause. But underground, something powerful is happening. Roots are forming. Strength is developing. Life is preparing to emerge. If you dig it up too early because you think nothing is happening, you destroy what was growing. Some prayers are like seeds. If you give them time, they will rise. Silence is where faith matures. Anyone can trust God when miracles are loud. But it takes depth to trust God when heaven is quiet. It takes courage to keep praying when answers delay. It takes strength to keep obeying when results don't show. And God sees that strength. He sees your consistency. He sees your tears. He sees your patience. And He honors it. Look at Jesus. 30 years of preparation. 3 years of ministry. 30 years of silence. 3 years of visibility. God does not rush greatness. If Jesus had stepped out too early, the world wouldn't have been ready. If David had become king immediately after the prophecy, he would not have survived the throne. If Moses had entered leadership without the wilderness, he would have failed under pressure. Delay is not denial. Delay is design. Sometimes God is silent because He is teaching you to listen differently. Not just with your ears, but with your heart. In silence, you learn dependence. In silence, you learn patience. In silence, you learn to trust God for who He is, not just for what He gives. You may feel forgotten, but you are not abandoned. You may feel delayed, but you are not denied. You may feel hidden, but you are being prepared. And when the season changes, everything God has been doing in secret will suddenly make sense. There will come a day when you look back and say, if God had answered me earlier, I wouldn't be who I am today. If God had rushed it, I wouldn't have survived it. If God had spoken sooner, I wouldn't have learned trust. So if you're in a silent season, don't quit. Don't compare. Don't rush. Don't lose hope. God is closer than you think. God is working deeper than you see. God is planning bigger than you imagine. The same God who spoke light into darkness is working in your darkness right now. The same God who opened the Red Sea is preparing a way you cannot see yet. The same God who raised Lazarus is not late in your situation. He is never early. He is never late. He is always on time. Hold on. Stay faithful. Stay prayerful. Stay patient. Because when God finally speaks, it will be worth the wait. When He finally moves, it will be undeniable. When He finally answers, it will silence every doubt. And when that moment comes, your story will encourage someone else who thought silence meant abandonment. Your testimony will remind them that God never stopped working. He was just doing it quietly. If this message spoke to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you believe God is still working in your life, even in silence, subscribe, stay connected, and keep your faith alive. God is not finished with you, not even close.